Hello, scholars. Welcome to our work today on Balto of the Blue Dawn, Chapter 6. Here are vocabulary words with which we will be working today. Hauling, right, means dragging with effort or force. So picture, right, the sled dogs hauling something, right? Or right, you having to haul a whole bunch of stuff back into the building when you bring all your materials back. If you're coming for on-site learning, right? You're hauling them, you're dragging them, right? Carrying them. Great effort, great force. You're holding a whole bunch of stuff. Hauling. Then 2 and 3, bedraggled and scraggly, tend to go together. Bedraggled means dirty and disordered, right? So if we hear, I think a character today has a beard that is bedraggled and scraggly. So bedraggled means it's very dirty, not combed, right? It's all disorderly, like it's not combed out, smoothed out. There might be knots in it. And then scraggly means it's ragged, thin, untidy. So it hasn't been well trimmed, well combed. So bedraggled and scraggly, right? Maybe you can picture for a moment what a pet might look like if it's bedraggled and scraggly. Then number 4 is dignity. Right? Dignity is being worthy of honor or respect. So if you treat someone with dignity, right, you're treating them with respect, with honor. Right? It'd be virtuous to treat someone with dignity. Dodged, avoided with a quick movement. So think about if you've ever played dodgeball, right? You're trying to avoid getting hit by the ball by making a quick move, right? If you try to dodge someone's question, right, you're trying to avoid their question by saying something else or moving away, right? Dodged. And then momentarily means for a short time. So if someone says, I'll be with you momentarily, it means in a short time, right? In just a moment. So momentarily is just a short time, like a moment. Remember, you'll want to come back to these, especially bedraggled and scraggly, when you get to that part in your packet today. Moving on to today's reading, you'll want to press pause right now in this video, right? So you can click on the other video to hear me read chapter 6, or you can pause this video and read chapter 6 with someone or to yourself. Press pause now. All right. If you are playing this again, it means you have read or listened to chapter 6 and you are ready to do a little bit of packet work with me before finishing it on your own. All right, moving into our work. All right, looking first at the setting question on page 15 of your packet. What is the new setting introduced in chapter 6? So when we read that chapter, scholars, did you notice where they now are? Right? We know it's still in the past, right? Because it's, I believe, 1925. Does that sound right? So it's in the past, but they're in a new place in this chapter. And the new place they are is Ed's house, right? Or Ed's cabin, but it's his house. And then it says use adjectives to be descriptive. So I was thinking about that as we were reading, and there were 2 words that came to my mind that I think we should include. Safe, right? They're feeling safe there, right? They're out of the elements of the stormy weather. And another one that came to mind is warm. They're now out of that cold into a warm house. Maybe you're going to think of some others that you could add. That's great if you want to, or it's okay to include those and move on. We are also going to look down here at cite evidence. Cite 2 pieces of evidence from the chapter to support the following statement. Ed was very welcoming to his 2 guests. So I want you to think for a moment. What did we read that tells us he was welcoming? right? That he welcomed them in and treated them kindly. Maybe you're going back into the reading and looking again at what he did. Maybe you already thought of something that he did. Right? He got a bucket of water for Jack's feet. Right? That showed he was welcoming. Right? Jack needed to soak his feet in some water to warm them up, get that cold, almost frostbite feeling off of them. Another one that came to my mind, he gave them something to eat. Maybe you thought of something different. Right? Maybe you thought of he let them bring the dogs inside. Right? That certainly shows welcoming. Not many people would say, sure, bring these, I don't remember, is it 14 dogs? I feel like it's less than that. I'm going to have to go back and look. Maybe you remember. But he let them bring the dogs inside so the dogs could get out of the cold for a bit as well. Quite interesting. So if you want to write that instead of one of these, you're absolutely welcome to do that. Or maybe even, thought of another reason or another way that Ed was welcoming. That leaves scholars on this page this reread to clarify question. Right? How did Jack warm up his soaking wet feet? And we have to turn the page. Then on this page we have vocabulary, right? Bedraggled and scraggly. Go back in this video, right? Go back to the beginning of this video and look at those vocabulary word definitions and write those down. When you do that, remember, antonym means opposite. So keep in mind here you're writing the opposite of scraggly. And then you also have this question, reflect. Can you please tell us what time it is again? Asked Jack. Why is Jack concerned about the time? Jack is concerned about the time. Oh, can you all sense my favorite word coming up? Because, right? Questions that ask why are often going to have a because in them. So Jack is concerned about the time because, now think back, scholars, there's a couple reasons why. Right? Why is he so concerned with the time? You're going to finish that. So your task is to finish 15 and 16, those 2 pages today, 15 and 16, and take photos of them to submit. So that brings us to our end. So remember, scholars, you are finishing the chapter 6 work in your packet. Remember, you're submitting 2 photos today, one of page 15 and one of page 16. Make sure I can see all of your answers to all of the questions on those 2 pages. Thanks for joining me.